Hi guys! Hi everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, ARL Reality Life Moment. For this time around guys, I want to show you something that as a mother, we can still become a student. Dreaming is always a possible for us. We can always have a dream even at your later stage of your life. You can still pursue whatever you want. Be also a fallback to whatever dreams you want to come true. Okay? For me, ARL, of course, it's not too late for me to become a future teacher or a professor. That's why I involve myself to become a student in the TCT. Now, I have a prelim examination and this is a form of my review. There are three principal elements for the teaching and learning to make it become possible and attainable. These are the teacher, the learner, and having the environment. What kind of environment? This is of course the conducive environment. Only when a positive relationship exists among them can teaching and learning occur with precision and predictability. Of course, as a teacher, she serves or he serves as the prime mover of the educational wheel, while the learner is the key participant in the learning process. So this is important that the teacher and the learner should collaborate with each other. And of course, the learner and the teacher should be in a favorable environment, conducive environment, which provides essential features and ingredients that could make a headway in guiding the teaching learning processes and methodologies needed for a smooth linkage among these three. Okay? Now, what do you mean by the learner? Of course, the learner is a student, I myself as a learner. Okay. The nature of the learner is it is an individual who has the capacity to undergo the learning process by all his or her means. He or she is willing to participate in the learning activity to be designated by the teacher. Of course, the learner who is equipped with the knowledge and skills. And of course, the learner must have perseverance to face the challenges and manage time constraints at all times. So, ang learner ay napakahalaga. And he or she is able to get all the sharing, all the knowledge being shared by the teacher. The learner is an embodied spirit. He or she is not just a body, neither just a spirit. What happens to the body also happens to the spirit. So magkasama yon, yung body tsaka spirit. Likewise, what happens to the spirit affects the body. Okay. The learner is equipped with faculties or powers, cognitive and affective. So these are the faculties. These are the cognitive, affective, and the psychomotor. He or she has or include the external five senses, the internal senses of imagination and memory, and the spiritual or mental power of the intellect. The acts of his her intellect are the conception, the judgment, and the reasoning. Her appetitive faculties are the feelings, emotions, and will. Now, the second type of element in teaching is the teacher. Of course, he or she is competent and of course, a committed teacher. She facilitates the learning process. He or she opens the door for the learner. The learner enters by himself or herself, but of course, she or he will enter to the teacher. Of course, he or she, the teacher, must be a licensed professional teacher who passes the licensure examinations for the LET. And of course, she possesses the dignity and reputation with high moral values as a technical and professional competence. His or her passion for teaching has a sense of humor, patience, and enthusiasm, and other positive personal attributes that make him as a true facilitator of learning. He or she has a competence to enables her to manage the learning environment to create an atmosphere for a conducive of learning. That's why a teacher should only um, involve to the learning process without considering any monetary values. Okay, of course, a teacher's goal is for the student to learn more, for the learner to learn more. Okay, this is the most important thing. And being a teacher, it is a responsibility for him or her that the students is learning. Okay, now let's go to the third element of teaching, which is the learning environment. A learning environment should have, of course, a very conducive one. It is a product of the physical, psychological, as well as social atmosphere created by the interaction between teacher and the learners and among the learners themselves. The physical features of the classroom, which includes space, the location, the lighting, the ventilation, the order or tidiness, and the noise level, exert influence on the teaching learning process. How much learning will take place depends entirely on the learner. Whether or not he or she develops his potentials as a genius to the fullest is entirely up to him. Now, of course, as we repeat that there are three elements of teaching. This is the learner, the teacher, and the environment. The learner is composed of the embodied spirit. When we say embodied spirit, this is the attributes of the physical and the spirit composed of cognitive and appetitive. This is the thinking and the aptitude and the interests. Okay? And the psychomotor. The second element is the teacher. A teacher must have the passion for teaching, and the most important thing is he or she passes the board exam, has a sense of humor, is eager to teach the students wholeheartedly. And the third one is the environment. It's conducive. It is free of any problem that would encounter in future. There should be a ventilation, orderliness, and safe, and the location should be also considered, the noise level. So these are the three elements of teaching that we should be taken care of to understand: the learner, the teacher, and the environment. Now, Dr. Howard Gardner has a theory that explains about the multiple intelligence that an individual possesses. It was on 1983 he suggests that human intelligence can be differentiated into 8 modalities. Each and every one of us possesses a unique intelligence that you really need to discover, because in this way you will really know what is your strengths and weaknesses in your life. Like for example, for me, I came to know that my multiple intelligence is now, it is already a secret. And I came to know, because of this intelligence, I am now experiencing, or this is how I love to do it in my everyday life. So I suggest for each of you guys, try to know what type of multiple intelligence you have in your life. Now, I will describe or say something about this type of multiple intelligence. Okay. The first one is the verbal or linguistic type of intelligence. This is a kind of intelligence that you are using your language to present your ideas, to express your feelings, or to persuade others. This verbal also you can use through in writing or by speaking. So you are very good in the verbal type or linguistic intelligence. If you are high in linguistic intelligence, you're able to use words in ways that are more skillful, useful, creative than the average person. You are able to use language to convince others of your position. You can memorize and recall detailed or complex information, and you're better than most at explaining and teaching concepts and ideas to others. You also enjoy using language to talk about language itself. Gardner suggested that talented poets are good examples of individuals learning with high linguistic intelligence. Now I reveal, this is the type of intelligence with me I have right now, the linguistic. The second type of intelligence or multiple intelligence that maybe you are one of it is the musical intelligence. So we believe that the singers are have this kind of intelligence. They are probably already guessing some of the components of musical intelligence. They are gifted. They have the gifted abilities involving sound, especially the pitch, the timbre, and the rhythm. Gardner says that this is the earliest of all intelligence to emerge. Musical child prodigies serve as examples of individuals are the musical geniuses. Gardner points to the musical composer to illustrate musical intelligence. Of course, people with gifted voice, this is the type of intelligence they have. They can create and have a feeling of a rhythm to express a mode, detecting and analyzing musical themes. Guys, my children already wake up, so I have the background. Okay, now the third type of multiple intelligence is the logical or mathematical intelligence. This intelligence enables you to think about, analyze, and compute various relationships among abstract objects, concepts, and ideas. These high levels of intelligence may be found among mathematicians, scientists, philosophers, but may also be present in those individuals who are obsessed with sports, statistics, design computer code, or develop algorithms as a hobby. This type of intelligence not only involves for the mathematics but also for the analytical or logical way. Okay? This is also a very nice type of intelligence which an individual possesses. It's not all about the numbers, but on how they think about it in a logical way. The fourth type of multiple intelligence, according to Dr. Howard Gardner, is the bodily kinesthetic intelligence. These abilities might be called physical intelligence. If you are high in bodily kinesthetic intelligence, you are very aware of your own body and bodily movements and are skilled in using and controlling your body to achieve various goals or effects. As you might imagine, dancers, the athletes, surgeons, spotters, and many actors possess a high degree of bodily intelligence. Okay, of course, those are the actors or the one can dance the you call this one, the ballerina. Ang tawag doon, call them as the ballet dancer. Now I came to know that the surgeons multiple intelligence belongs in this bodily kinesthetic intelligence because this characteristic involves the fine motor movement of one fingers and hands. Those that exploit gross motor movements of the body. Remember the surgeon, guys? They're, of course, as they are performing the surgery, they have the bodily kinesthetic in their fingers and hands. So they belong to this type of intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Also, the dancers, ballet dancers, the athletes, okay, and the patters, the one who make the pats. So they are very good in this type of movement of the hands, the bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Now let's go to the fifth type of intelligence. I will call this as the fifth and the sixth type because you will be like confused about this interpersonal and intrapersonal intelligence. The intrapersonal intelligence is within the self, intra, in ourself. Understanding your own interior thoughts and feelings in a very clear way. So, we call this as the intrapersonal type of intelligence. And the other one, the sixth type, is the interpersonal, like you are socializing, interactions, okay? This is between people. You can understand the feelings and the needs and purpose of other people. So we call this as the interpersonal intelligence. So don't be confused about that. The intra is within the self, while the interpersonal, just think of it as an interaction with other people. So you have the ability to understand the feelings and needs of other people. Seventh type of multiple intelligence is the visual spatial intelligence. They are very good in geometry. It is learned best when taught using the written, modeled, or diagram instruction and visual media. When learning in math, they benefit from using manipulatives and story problems instead of performing equations. They are likely to do better at geometry. Okay? So this type of intelligence is very unique. Visual, spatial intelligence that an individual exists or has this type of intelligence. He or she can create and interpret visual images, thinking of the dimensions. They are very creative also. They can express what's in the geometry. They are very good. That's why it's spatial. Spatial, this is the SPATIAL, spatial, not the special. So this type of intelligence is, I believe, very unique to individual. The eighth type of multiple intelligence, according to Dr. Howard Gardner, is the naturalistic intelligence. This is the ability to identify, classify, and manipulate elements of the environment, objects, animals, or plants. They care about the environment and like to be in touch with nature. They are very good at identifying the fauna and flora. Remember that, guys? So, this is a type of intelligence which loves environment, naturalist environment. So, those they want to be alone because they want to stay in the environment, to preserve the environment, they loves it. So, this is the last type of multiple intelligence according to Dr. Howard Gardner. So, an individual has specific multiple intelligence in our life that we should consider and we should have to understand how we are going to deal with the other type of people. Now, guys, to end my review for Module 1, which all about the elements of teaching and learning, I hope you get some points or ideas from me. As still, I am a student. I am also a learner. I'm not just a teacher. So we came to know that the elements of teaching and learning are the learner, the teacher, and the environment. Of course, the learner should possess a good spirit and a physically sound body, mind, in order for him or get the ideas being shared to her or to him by the teachers. He is in good spirit with a sentient body and soul. And of course, the teacher must be a board passer with high degree of intelligence, decency, and must possess the quality of becoming a very good and efficient teacher. And the last one is the environment. There should be a conducive environment, free from any problems, the noise levels, the orderliness or the tidiness, and everything that follows as the standard for having a very good conducive environment so that the teacher and the learner should attain the objectives set forth in each topic or lesson. Okay guys, watch out for the Module 2 that I'm going to present for as a review. Thank you.